It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. I'm becoming very aware of how I busied myself with all the little things and put off the things that I complain about not having the time to do. Sound familiar? This is a quote that came from one of the women inside of Auraline, my mastermind for women that are going for it, pivoting their business focus, taking their growth to the next level, building this next chapter the way that they actually want to. And at the core of all of it is fundamentally changing our relationship with being busy, stacking calendars and ignoring your own self-needs, tying your worth to how much you're doing or how fast you're going, and cramming in a bunch of little things to avoid the deeper thing you know it's time to do. The healthy, sustainable growth that you're really looking for, it's gonna require you to make some changes around the way that you approach being busy. If you're wanting to slow down while also speeding up, this episode is going to be a reality check. Let me tell you about this gal inside of Auraline. I'm like, she might actually punch me in the face, but she hasn't wanted to do that or threaten me with that because she's like, you know what? This is what I needed. So she joined Auraline because she's got a lot of pieces, right? She's got a lot of really great pieces in her business, but nothing is really cohesive yet. She used to pack her calendar really tight. She had a lot of things going on, a lot of different interests. And yet there were parts of her business that she wanted to go deeper on, that she wanted to express herself with, but she never had the time to do it. And then she spoke on a TEDx. And she started to get all this external pressure from people saying, are you ready? Are you ready for this to happen? Are you ready for this to drop? Are you ready for all this influx? Are you ready for all these things to come in? And it started to freak her out. So she got into the website and she built out this whole new program that she wasn't really aligned with. And she's got this message over here and she was tinkering with the colors over there and she was changing the messaging on the website. I mean, a lot of stuff, right? Like, you know, in business, things can get very busy very quickly because it's not just the one thing you got to do. It's the three things you need to do to lead up to do the main thing that you got to do, which then changes or breaks or adjusts the things that come after that. So then you got to do those things too. And when she reached out to me to have me look at something, she's like, hey, I could really just use somebody else's eyes on this. And I came back to her and I was like, dude, I'm going to be real honest with you. I have no idea what you're selling. I don't know what your message is. I don't know what your thing is. And she was like, fuck, you're right. Where do I sign up? So she gets in Auraline, okay? We start digging around and she's in what we are lovingly joking as execution jail. Meaning she is not in a season of doing. Okay. I hard stopped her from doing all that tinkering stuff and changing this and changing that. She was like jumping right into fix it mode. As soon as the idea came in, we were getting in and changing something. As soon as I think of something, that I'm going to jump on it and do it right now. And this happens so often, especially in entrepreneurship, because you have a lot of power. Okay. You have a lot of things at your fingertips, or you have a lot of people in your world that know how to do things. And so you're either in there tinkering and fixing and changing yourself or figuring out how to do those things, or you're sending an email to somebody that knows how to do those things and getting other people involved. And very, very quickly, without you even realizing it, you create a mess. And that mess is rooted in, I've not yet sat with this. I've not seen how all the pieces come together. Is this really rooted in intention? Or am I just trying to keep things moving? Because when I'm busy, I feel productive. When I'm busy, I feel like I'm doing something. I'm making a difference. I'm making this business thing work. If I'm busy, that's gotta mean that I'm one step closer to it, right? That breakthrough has got to be just on the other side of me changing the hex code on my fucking website. Look, I'm not here to bust your chops, but also I am a little bit. And I know this, and I can speak so clearly about this because I know this world because I've done this shit too. We wrap our identity around being busy. It's this whole ecosystem, this whole influence that we've seen where, okay, if you want to do it, you got to make it happen. And don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place for getting in the ditch and doing the shit, rolling your sleeves up, doing the dirty work, like getting in and tinkering and adjusting things when you're building and you're growing. Where it becomes a problem is when that is your everyday. When every day is like, I'm stacked, I'm packed, I have no room in my calendar, I've got all these things to do, my to-do list is never ending. And you're cramming all of this little stuff, right? All these little pieces, all this email stuff and app things and website, whatever, and all this stuff that you've got going on. I'm not saying these things aren't important, but every single day you're busy. Every single day you don't have time to do that bigger thing that you really want to do. Listen, I'm just saying there's probably an excuse behind that. There's probably a habit that's been built where you've overcommitted to something, or you're doing all this kind of surface level work to avoid doing the deeper work that actually needs to happen. Those little things, that surface stuff, those little check boxes, those feel nice, don't they? Because you do them and you see that it's done, and then you feel productive, and then you feel good about yourself. And then you're like, I feel worthy of growing this business because I can do a lot of things. And then the cycle keeps going and you're wondering, why am I not any further along today than I was 6 months ago or 3 years ago? I'm doing a ton of shit, but my business is not yet singing to the tune in which I know it can sing at. You're not at your capacity. You might be at your capacity with time and stuff, but if we pull it back a little bit and we really evaluate what you're doing, where are you spending your time? What reactive energy are you working in right now? That, my friend, is what's stopping you. So she's in execution jail, okay? Meaning she is not doing anything. She's not fixing. She's not changing. Right now, we are going into the depth. The part of her business, the messaging, the focus, the brand of who she is and what she speaks on and what she teaches on. We're starting to pull all those pieces together, pushing her in ways that she hasn't thought yet, asking her to take her hands off the wheel for just a second and let's marinate with it. Let's look at all the pieces. Let's see how this resonates. Where do you actually want to go? What do you want to represent? Who are you as a human? It's this pullback before the sling forward. And that's why in the beginning I said, if you want to slow down and speed up simultaneously, then this line is for you, okay? Because these women are not sitting around, okay? They're not like, oh, if it happens, it happens. No, they're ambitious. They want this shit to happen. They want to speed up, except this time they want it to speed up in the right direction. And that's what we're doing by not doing the busy shit right now. We're doing the ideation, the vision casting. She's showing up as a CEO, as a business owner right now. She wants to slow down, okay? Slow down in her life in a way that she has white space in her calendar and she can do things with her family without wondering if the business is going to fall apart. She wants to be able to take off on a Friday and have a long weekend and feel good about it. She wants to be able to sit down in the evenings and not be all wound up about, is this the right thing and how is this all going to come together? That's what I mean by slowing down. Living life. Living life outside of this business. And she wants to do that while also simultaneously speeding up in business. Not to run a marathon, not to get all crazy, right? But speeding up in the way that, hey, I'm intentionally moving in the direction that I want to be in. I am filling my programs, the programs that I fucking love delivering. I am booking my calendar for speaking events. I'm facilitating stuff that makes me just like, oh, I can hardly wait to get there. That's intentional speeding up. Not to cram her calendar, not to pack in her day, not to be so busy that she can't even breathe. But she has this quality of life while also moving in the work that she loves. That's why we're not fixing right now. That's why we're not doing the busy work. Right now, she's creating. She's creating with herself. She's tapping in to who she is and what she wants and how she wants this next iteration of her business to look, and most importantly, how she wants it to feel. And what's coming up very true for her and so many of the other women that I work with is she's like, I used to pack my calendar, but the freedom is throwing me off. And I think if we pull everything back to the core, if we go all the way down into the depth, that's what's driving the busy. Because in the freedom, in the stillness, in the peace, it's probably unfamiliar territory, isn't it? I mean, you're used to running. You're used to having a stacked calendar. You're used to skipping over lunches. You're used to not even remembering what you did yesterday because you've got so many things going on. You have gotten so used to tying your worth with how much you're doing and how fast you're going that when you slow down, you wonder who the fuck you are and if you can even do this. Meanwhile, this is what you want, right? Like you want the flexibility and the freedom and the autonomy. You want peace. You want life to be enjoyable. One of my private clients actually just sent this to me. She's like, Laura, I've always known how to work hard. What I don't know is how to build a life that feels peaceful and fulfilling and enjoyable and meaningful without constantly proving my worth through achievement. Holy banana fucking Batman. Please send me a virtual high five or leave a review or send me a DM if that resonated with you, because I think that is one of the most relatable things that I've ever heard from a female entrepreneur. You know how to get shit done. Okay. We don't need to question that. You're always the one that people turn to. You're the one that people know that you're going to follow through. If you want something, you're going to figure out how to get it, right? Doing is not the problem, but there's this deep, deep part of you that is craving this inner peace and this stillness where you don't have to do all the time. But that freedom, that very thing that you're looking for, when you step into it or when you start to dabble into it, it's fucking terrifying. Okay? You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're going to feel like everything's falling apart, or like you should be doing more things, or, oh, I'm lazy because I'm not doing enough work. You're just simply used to overexerting yourself. You're so used to that the peace and the stillness makes you feel like it's wrong. And it's why one of the things we have to start focusing on is introducing these things to you, introducing what peace is, introducing fulfillment, introducing enjoyment, being present, down space, white space, time to think, time to create without execution. I mean, as an entrepreneur, one of your greatest assets is your ideation. Your ability to see things that other people can't fucking see. But how can you see when you've got the blinders on from your busy ass schedule? Being busy feels productive because you're doing, you're moving, you're making stuff happen. And it makes you feel like you're in control of the outcome. It's like, okay, if I'm doing all this stuff, then I'm making things happen and I'm going to get it all done and I've got control. I know you like control. Okay, we don't need to beat around the bush here. But are we controlling the right thing is what I want to ask you. Controlling all that stuff that you're doing, but you're not controlling your white space. You're not controlling and protecting your time and your energy. It's just perception. Busy is a safety mechanism. I mean, it keeps you comfortable doing the things that you know how to do. And when you start changing that, when you start slowing down, when you actually create that space in your life and in your schedule, it feels unsafe, not because it's wrong, but because it's new. Busy is very rooted in proving yourself, in defining your self-worth, in scarcity. It's continuously proving to yourself that, you know what? Success comes with a price. Getting what I want requires me to burn my shit to the ground. And all of it's a story. All of it's a narrative. And all of it is a fucking habit. A habit that we've all been taught. I mean, the world has been set up for men to run the shit, to work hard, to get up at 4 a.m. and work out and put in a 12-hour day and make sure all these things are taken care of and go and hustle and move. And we don't function that way. Not to mention the invisible load that women as a whole carry across the board, not just in your business, but in life. So you know what? I don't think it's your fault. I don't think it's my fault either. But it is our individual responsibility to make a choice to change. To say, okay, I'm no longer associating with being busy. I'm unsubscribing to the idea that I have to burn my shit down in order to get where I want to go. And instead, I'm changing the story. I'm choosing to believe that Freedom and flexibility can come with ease. I'm not saying it doesn't come without work, okay? We gotta work. The shit doesn't happen on its own. I don't care who you see online who went from zero to a bajillion dollars overnight. That shit did not happen overnight. And ultimately, to have that financial flow that you want, that steady income, that ability to be able to go away for a week or a month at a time, yeah, we got to put in the work to build the infrastructure and the systems that create that allow it, that support it. Doing the work is not the same thing as cramming and being busy. We all have busy seasons, okay? Sometimes life hands us a big fat plate of life. And sometimes in the business, you're in the period where it just requires more of your time, attention, and energy. But what I want to ask you is on a daily, what are you avoiding doing? Because that is also at the core of being busy, is cramming in all the little stuff to avoid doing the deeper thing that you know it's time to do, the decision that needs to be made, the work that doesn't feel sexy, that really just needs your time and attention. Slowing down when you have been running a marathon, slowing down and being with your business and your ideas and where you want to go. Busy is surface level. Change comes from depth. And when you slow down long enough to go into the depths, to go into the areas that are unknown or uncertain or new, or you challenge the old habits of being crazy all the fucking time, you start to find answers. The things that you've been beating your head up against the wall, trying to force yourself to figure out, start to come to you. And it's because you've created space for them to. You start to see the through lines in your business. You start to gain so much clarity around how things work and how things speak, or what your messaging really truly is. That same gal that I've been talking about this whole episode, she's right on the cusp of all of that messaging coming together. She is more connected with her work now than I think that she ever has been. She's really starting to see the big picture beyond being in the trenches of it all. And when all those pieces click into place, it's going to be like the super highway, right? Where she is moving with speed, but with grace and intention, and not trying to figure out all these millions of different pieces and fighting herself and feeling bad at night because she didn't make it any further, but she's busy and tired. No. She's going to be like, I've got direction. I've got clarity. I know who I am and what I'm saying and what I'm doing and what I stand for. And therefore, everything gets to be easier. That's what challenging busy does. It allows you to go into the depth to get the answers that you need so that you can move forward with intention. And when you move with intention, my friend, pack your fucking bags and get ready to go on an adventure, because that's where the magic starts happening. Today, I want to challenge you with flipping busy with intention, changing busy work and focusing on intention. There's a couple of things that you can do if you want to journal on, or if you want some like practical next things to do. First, what needs your time and attention most right now? Is it the decision that you need to make? Is it a piece in your business that really you just need to sit with or work with or figure out? What would really change things if you got clarity on this thing? That's what needs your time and attention most right now. And then plan out your day or your week to make time to do that. If you don't make space for it, the space is never going to show up. And slowing down, right? We're shifting from busy to intention. Intentionally choosing time to focus, to slow down, to be with it, to journal, to write it out, to be creative, to go on a walk in nature, to lay under the sun, work out in your yard. Slowing down doesn't mean that you have to sit and stare at the wall and wait for something to happen. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. Okay, you can still move, but we're not cramming. This Oraline girl, she has been moving outside. She's been creating things. She's been exercising her body and her mind and her creativity in ways that she's just been longing for. That's where the information comes in. So plan it out. Block time in. Create space for this. And if you're like, Laura, there really just are a lot of things happening right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Listen, I hear you. I get it. I'm not telling you that you don't. But what I am going to suggest is, where can you ask for help? Where are you carrying way too many things? Where have you made everything and everyone around you your responsibility. Ask for help. The only way you're going to get time and space back is if you create it. And sometimes that creation comes from saying, hey, I need your help here. Hey, I need to delegate this to you. Hey, I need to do this next month instead of this month, right? It's creating realistic expectations with yourself and the people around you. And lastly, allow it. Allow yourself to feel the discomfort. You're used to running. Of course, if I ask you to take a soft walk, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because your body's going to naturally want to run. You don't have to do this for a half a day or a whole day. You don't have to do this for a whole week. What if we just start with little sprints, right? Little moments of time, 20-minute blocks, 30-minute blocks, a part of your afternoon, time in between things. I want you to just start getting comfortable or getting used to the idea, introducing to your body that, hey, stillness, slowing down, not cramming every moment of every single day. It's not bad. I just am not used to it. In these pockets of time, you can have pride in your work and your self-care. You can say, wow, look at what I'm doing for myself. Having gratitude for who you are and what you're doing. It's creating familiarity with the piece. If there's one thing that you're really wanting, really hone in on, like, what is the feeling that I'm craving in my life? If it's peace, okay, how do I start to introduce peace into my life in little pockets of time and noticing them? It gives you this white space to think and to just be, and it separates your identity from your output. This is the version of you that gains the success and the freedom and the flexibility and the business ease that she's been craving. She moves differently. She does not celebrate busy work. She celebrates herself and does the intentional work to get the things that she wants. If you too are pivoting your business focus, you're taking your growth to the next level, you are like, you know what, this next chapter of business, I've done everything else everyone else's way up until this point. I'm ready to do this next chapter my way. Auraline is the place where you get the support as you're making these moves. There's 2 ways to get started. If you've got questions, you just want to see like, okay, I'm thinking this is the right path. I just want to double, triple, make sure. Let's book a clarity session. If you go to lauraora.com/clarity, you can book a call where we can just chat out the details. Or if you're like, nope, you've said enough. I'm ready to do this. I am done doing shit everyone else's way. I know I'm made for more. Let's do it. Then you can go to lauraora.com/mastermind to sign up today. Let's also connect on social media while we're at it. My handle is @thatlauraora. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.